Mark Zuckerberg, a name once associated with the image of a bespectacled, introverted bookworm in a gray hoodie, now appears with a completely different persona, no longer a hesitant CEO. Zuckerberg now emerges as a true MMA fighter with a modern fashion style and a strong, toned physique. But this change is not just superficial, it signals a deeper transformation, an effort to reshape his personal image to salvage a reputation that has been severely damaged over the years. With his absolute control over Meta, the parent company of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, Zuckerberg cannot be overthrown from his powerful position without his own consent. Meta's board of directors has been structured to protect his position absolutely. Therefore, any change in Zuckerberg's personal image carries strategic significance. It is not just a personal makeover but also a way to guide how the public perceives Meta, a company once mired in scandals related to privacy, fake news, and political manipulation. Initial reactions from the public show positive signs. GQ magazine did not hesitate to praise Zuckerberg's transformation as a case study. However, the change is not just external. Some opinions suggest that his political views are also shifting, partly as a strategy to soften his image, which was once considered cold and distant. These changes, whether genuine or merely cosmetic, are contributing to the reconstruction of the image of a man and an empire that was once under global scrutiny. The role of public image. The effect of public image is undeniable, especially for individuals leading major technology corporations. Steve Jobs is a classic example. He was not only the founder of Apple but also a cultural icon with an almost Zen-like style, profound philosophy, and an extremely simple appearance. His image was associated with humane and user-friendly technology, which helped Apple stand out and gain trust despite Jobs' demanding nature in his work. Zuckerberg, on the other hand, was the complete opposite. From the early years of his career, Zuckerberg's image was a symbol of Silicon Valley's coldness, detached, technocratic, and indifferent to social impact. The 2010 film The Social Network further solidified that impression, a quirky, unemotional, and somewhat hostile young man in a hoodie. Although it was just a film, that image stuck with Mark for over a decade. Even as Zuckerberg's talent and business vision helped Facebook grow into a platform with over 2 billion users, and acquisitions like Instagram and WhatsApp were hailed as shrewd, his personal image remained associated with suspicion and antipathy. His supreme position in the social media empire also brought immense responsibility, and Zuckerberg gradually became the focus of numerous global controversies. The Cambridge Analytica scandal in 2018 marked a harsh turning point. Facebook was accused of allowing this data analysis company to access the personal information of millions of users for political campaigning purposes. Zuckerberg was forced to testify before the U.S. Congress, a hearing many described as bizarre due to his emotionless demeanor and robotic responses. Some even likened him to a robot or a village idiot in disguise. Worse still, the negative impact of Facebook did not stop in the U.S. In 2017, the platform was accused of contributing to the Rohingya genocide in Myanmar. In Colombia, it was seen as a tool fueling social unrest. In Sri Lanka, Facebook was accused of spreading misinformation and inciting hatred amid religious tensions. During the global recession, Facebook was also criticized for contributing to the spread of fake news and conspiracy theories, exacerbating crises. Furthermore, the working conditions of content moderators in developing countries, who were frequently exposed to violent and morbid images, were reportedly terrible with a lack of psychological support. And in October 2021, an insider, Frances Haugen, came forward to expose Meta with a series of shocking internal documents, further casting Zuckerberg's image into darkness. Many leaked internal documents clearly showed that Meta, and previously Facebook, were fully aware of the negative impact of their platforms on the mental health of adolescents, especially Instagram, as well as their potential role in inciting political conflicts worldwide. Despite knowing these consequences, the company often chose profit over community safety. The result was an increasingly toxic and deeply divisive online environment, filled with more lies, and not infrequently, online conversations led to real-world violence, taking human lives. For Mark Zuckerberg, this was not just a public relations crisis. The continuous scandals were jeopardizing the future of the entire Meta empire. Facebook renames to Meta to cope. Zuckerberg launched a large-scale repositioning campaign, starting with changing the company name from Facebook to Meta in October 2021, coinciding with Frances Haugen's shocking revelations. The goal was to divert public opinion away from the scandalous past and towards a new future centered around the metaverse, a digital space where users can interact through virtual reality. But reality proved harsh. The metaverse did not meet the lofty expectations Zuckerberg had outlined. Clumsy experiences, poor graphics, and complex mechanisms made this product a symbol of disappointment. In 2024, the metaverse caused billions of dollars in losses for the company, and Zuckerberg's own digital selfie in that virtual world became a subject of ridicule rather than inspiration. The stock market reacted negatively. Meta's shares plummeted in 2022, and Zuckerberg was ranked fourth on the list of the most disliked billionaires on the planet. Although Meta was promoted as a bold vision for the future, the public still saw the old Facebook in a new guise. This forced Zuckerberg to rethink comprehensively, not only the company's direction but also himself. Personal rebranding. From 2023, he began the process of reshaping his personal brand. No longer the awkward CEO with an eccentric style, Zuckerberg threw himself into martial arts training, especially MMA and jiu-jitsu. He widely shared his training activities, showcasing a muscular, disciplined, and stylish image. He even participated in his first jiu-jitsu tournament and won a medal. This transformation quickly garnered attention. The memes mocking him as a robot or a village idiot seemed to fade into the past. Now, he is a man of action, an image more relatable and closer to the public. Although the MMA fight between him and Elon Musk never materialized, the mere fact that this idea was publicly discussed shocked social media, creating a surreal yet powerful media moment. The next turning point came in 2024. A video Zuckerberg posted on Instagram to introduce improvements to Meta AI and the Llama language model did not attract much attention for its technological content but instead intrigued viewers because of the gold chain he wore. The change in fashion style, from the characteristic jeans and gray t-shirt of over a decade to street-style outfits, marked a complete makeover. A shirt with the words "Zuck or Nothing" served as a declaration of a new presence. He was no longer an emotionless bookworm but a contemporary cultural icon striving to win back the hearts of a public that had once turned its back on him. The text on his shirt was inspired by the Latin phrase "either Caesar or nothing." It serves as a message about the ambition, power, and personality that Zuckerberg wants to project. Another of his shirts, printed with a Greek phrase meaning "learning through suffering," further reinforced the image of someone who had gone through adversity and grown from it. But the change was not just in his attire. Over the past year, Zuckerberg has appeared frequently on influential media platforms like Lex Fridman's podcast and YouTube channels such as Cleo Abrams and The Verge. His more open demeanor, more flexible speaking style, and unexpected affability have made viewers reconsider their perceptions. Perhaps for many, a CEO participating in podcasts is nothing unusual, but when that person is Zuckerberg, a face associated with countless technology, privacy, and political scandals, each public appearance carries a very clear strategic communication significance. Zuckerberg's personal image at this point is not merely a personal matter, it directly impacts the perception of Meta, a corporation facing significant pressure from the public, lawmakers, and investors. In a world where the role of the CEO is highly symbolic, how Zuckerberg presents himself could be the most powerful weapon to divert attention from the long-standing controversies surrounding his platforms. As Amber Van Sp once said, personal style is a form of communication in the visual and social media age. When someone like Zuckerberg changes how they dress, walk, and speak, it can affect billions of dollars in company value. The public once saw him as a robot drinking water during his congressional hearing, an image that almost became a globally popular meme. But now, they see someone wearing sportswear, talking about martial arts, wearing sneakers and a gold chain, and even openly discussing past mistakes. A clear example is the letter he sent to the U.S. Congress in August 2024, where he indirectly expressed regret for not speaking out to defend free speech during the COVID-19 pandemic when Facebook was pressured by the government to censor certain content. This was an unexpected move, especially for free speech advocacy groups. However, this also raises a major question: are these changes the result of genuine growth or simply a meticulously orchestrated public relations strategy to cover up the undeniable cracks in his reputation? Nevertheless, evidence suggests that whatever the motivation, this strategy is working. Regarding issues like AI and content ownership, Zuckerberg does not hesitate to take a firm stance. He believes that collecting data from the internet to train AI is fair use and that many people overestimate the value of the content they create, a statement that could be controversial but no longer generates the same fierce backlash as before. The public spotlight seems to be elsewhere. Part of the reason is that people are being drawn to Meta's new products, such as Orion smart glasses. These are promoted as a gateway to a hyper-personalized future but also raise unprecedented privacy concerns. The glasses can collect location, behavior, and biometric data, extremely sensitive information. And as predicted, security vulnerabilities were quickly discovered. 2 Harvard students publicly demonstrated how they hacked Meta's Ray-Ban glasses to access personal information simply by looking at someone's face. They only needed to wear the glasses and walk past someone. A few seconds later, a processed facial image and personal information such as name, workplace, and social relationships appeared on their phone. Not only the name but also home address, parents' names, and even previously unseen photos appeared after just a few seconds of scanning a face. The reactions of those identified ranged from astonishment to shock. And in that context, a chilling reality gradually emerged: human privacy is facing an unprecedented tipping point. More worryingly, the information used for identification came from nowhere other than the public data on Meta's platforms. It was already available. It had just never been exploited in such an instantaneous and direct way. The fact that a stranger could collect all your information just by walking past you on the street while wearing a smart device developed by Meta itself marks a turning point that threatens the entire concept of personal privacy. Beyond facial recognition, Meta also announced that images and videos captured from devices like Ray-Ban glasses could be used to train AI models. This opens a new door for technology but also a door to an ethical gray area for which the company has no satisfactory answers. Will it be effective in the long term? Although Zuckerberg's efforts to change his image, from his style to his language, are making him seem more approachable and friendly, Meta is still facing fundamental unresolved issues: a business model that relies on attracting attention, encouraging outrage, and using personal data to optimize advertising revenue. Despite rebranding as Meta, the platform's essence remains Facebook. The algorithms that optimize interaction continue to spread sensational and divisive information, thereby affecting political discourse, mental health, and even social cohesion. While the company's leader has changed his personal image to become more strong, decisive, and open, the big question still hangs in the air: will the public truly trust him? For many, the answer is still no, because while image can change, lost trust requires much more to restore. This opens a deeper reflection on the responsibility of the leader of one of the most powerful companies in the world, someone who has been with it since a very young age, guiding it through periods of global turmoil. To regain trust, Meta will need to go beyond personal image improvement campaigns. They will need to restructure how they operate, how they interact with users, and, most importantly, respect privacy, something they seem to have prioritized the least in recent times. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button below to support the team. Goodbye and see you in the next video.